great. So I want to talk about the audition process for when you were going to audition for the National Ballet of Canada, because I'm sure that's not a traditional audition, or it might be. Maybe the same excerpts are required of a ballet, assistant concertmaster job as it is for a regular orchestra job. So can you share your thoughts about your experience and what you learned from it? And I mean, obviously you won the position, but and how that position in the National Ballet of Canada kind of shaped your musical playing.
Wow, some good questions. And it's funny that you asked me about the audition that I did for National Ballet, my position. That's a really interesting story because it happened. This is October of 2020, right? And it happened literally exactly 20 years ago.
No way. Wow. So I
Yeah,
asked the right question
you
literally 20
did.
years later.
Yeah, in
I am
fact,
that good.
you got psychic abilities, Eric. I literally have it in my hand here, a beautiful jewel gift box. I mean, for those who are just listening to podcasts and can't see video, I have a 20-year pin that they mailed to me. I'm now an old timer. I I'm going to
Wow.
be
That looks
attending
really
in a
cool.
week. Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's a ballet dancer. It's in gold, and I've seen many of my colleagues put this pin on their concert, their pit blacks, and I thought, wow, they've been in the orchestra a long time. Hey, guess what? I'm one of them now
You're one of them now.
myself.
But are there many people who are like tenure for like 20 years, or are you like one of the few, like is it like an elite club? Like are you like the one of five people, or are there like many people who are in the company for that long?
Oh, there were many. There's actually in this year there were three of us alone, and before me there were quite a few. So there's people there for I don't know, maybe 30, 35. Who knows? Even 30 years now. Who knows? Um, yeah, I started off as quite the greenhorn, and actually, okay. So let me review back to my audition story. It was very interesting.
Please, yes.
I was in my master's degree at University of Toronto, and I was starting to freak out because my father was very freaked out on my behalf that I was going to be destitute and freelancing and busking on the streets as a violinist. So I
Right. I think every
basically,
parent has that fear. It's like, oh, well,
yeah.
my. By the way, there's nothing wrong with busking. Like I've busked all the time. Like
Hmm.
in college. So it's good practice if you're like afraid of stage fright.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had great times busking. So I thought, okay, it's time to start facing reality, and this is no longer student fantasy world. We got to rubber meets the road, and it's got to start looking at how to become a professional. So I think it was my maybe third audition ever. I think the first one was a little tiny chamber orchestra. The other one was, I can't even remember, some small remote thing. I can't remember. So anyway, I was aiming for some, regional orchestras, thinking I really need to get myself into a section of violin section of some kind of regional orchestra. So I saw that the National Ballet of Canada Orchestra was holding violin jobs, and two of them, in fact, one in one weekend, and then one was a section violin job on a Sunday, and the Sunday after that was for the assistant concertmaster position. And word got around the city or the country, and my colleagues were whispering into my ear, "Oh yeah, don't even think about that assistant concertmaster job has been open for years. No one has lasted. No one's gotten tenure. People have gotten kicked out." And I said, "That's okay. I'm not thinking about that job. I really want to get the section job." So the assistant concertmaster job was actually before. Let me remember this correctly. The assistant concertmaster audition was first, then the section audition was after. So I thought, okay, from what I remember preparing for competitions, local, festivals when I was a student, you always need at least a week before to get yourself ready for a mock audition, mock performance, dress rehearsal, whatever you want to call it. So I said, I put it down in my calendar. I think I actually drew a hand drawn calendar and planned out the weeks. Okay, so I plotted in those audition dates. I said, okay, perfect. The section violin job is on this Sunday. Week before is the assistant concertmaster. Well, that makes a great dress rehearsal. The audition rep is exactly the same, except for a few concertmaster solos. Great. So I will learn those concertmaster solos. Just take the audition, get ready, win that section job, and then I'll be all set for my life. Well, it came and I played the assistant concertmaster job, and I knew no one was going to get the job. I knew that no one was going to get hired. And I got to the finals, and oh, my chosen piece, believe it or not, was Bach Chaconne. Boy, would I ever not do that again.
For your that was your decision.
Yeah,
Oh
what a
my
foolish thing.
gosh,
What a
you're
foolish thing to do.
you're brave. I'll put it that you're brave.
Well, it's only because I think I was studying at the time. That was the repertoire I was bringing to my lessons. It was fresh. So, I mean, what else was I going to play? Something that wasn't so good under my fingers. So, anyway, I know that I did not play perfectly. There was one concertmaster solo I kind of biffed on some high, one arpeggio note. And despite that, I got into the finals. I think for two of us left, or three of us left. And we waited after we played the finals, and we waited and waited. And I said, why are we waiting so long? Like, we all know that no one's going to get this job. So I said, oh, I really need to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. I opened the door, and boom, there was a personnel manager right in front of me, Jean. And Jean said, oh, we were looking for you. I said, what? What? I was just, my hands were still wet, from opening the door and washing my hands. She said, you won the job. Come into the room and meet the rest of the committee. And I said, what?
Wow, that's incredible. You're like, wait, is this happening?
Yeah, I was a student. I was in my first year of my master's degree, and I went home back to my dorm room, and I said, "Oh boy, I gotta have to practice for my lesson tomorrow. I gotta resettle." I went home and practiced some more. I had some deadlines at school, so that's my story of how I did the audition.